We're here today to talk about Menopause Month in October. And so, just to start off, I'd love if you could introduce yourself.
My name's Kris. I actually work with Fresh Clinics
Yeah.
and I look after a lot of nurses in New South Wales and ACT.
And
Bam.
amazing. And
Mm.
so, I imagine you've come across many women then in your time. And so, in terms of menopause, perimenopause, what are some of the conversations that you're having?
Well, especially here today, I've been having a lot of conversations with people. Really, I'm surprised that are my age and a little bit younger, in that 45 to 55 age group. And they really don't know that much about menopause,
Yeah.
which is surprising. And these conversations are coming up, and I'm telling them different journeys I've been on. And they're like, oh, I had that. Or, oh, my mom is like that. I really want to get her on HRT. And yeah, so the conversations have been that sort of realm.
Yeah. Wow. If you had to describe menopause in a word, it's a bit of a challenge. What
Yes.
word would you use?
Um, Jekyll and Hyde. Let's call it Hyde. It becomes yeah, you get this whole other personality that popped up that you really don't recognize. It's not just your personality, it's your body's changing. You're just not you. And you can't pinpoint it. And because it kind of sneaks up on you, it's not like all of a sudden one day you're sick. You just slowly, these changes keep popping up. And everyone else is noticing it, but they're not telling you. So, yeah, it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. And I love just being myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What was the moment for you when you really realized, okay, like something isn't quite right and maybe it is perimenopause or menopause?
I know the exact moment. I was working in a really stressful job and I walked into the office and I worked with a lot of younger people. I was kind of on the older demographic. And I spoke to one of my colleagues and I said, oh, I'm having one of my stress at times. And I described basically a panic attack or, an anxiety attack.
Mm.
And I'd been having them, I had them growing up just on the odd occasion, but I was having them quite regularly.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that what it was because my generation, you didn't talk about mental health. It wasn't, it was taboo. And she goes, oh, surprise, guess what you're having? I went, really? Is that what's going on? And then I mentioned it to, luckily, one of my close friends is a women's health doctor.
Mm.
And I mentioned it to Jane. And I was like, Jane, this is happening. She goes, oh, I think you're Perry. Let's have a chat.
Wow.
And I didn't know until after it started happening, the whole thing with your bleeding, like that you have a heavy period or a lighter one. I was clockwork my whole life.
Oh,
And then
wow.
all of a sudden that started changing. So here I am thinking, oh, great, I have cancer. I'm dying. My body's not being myself.
No way.
Everything's not right. Yeah. But luckily I had Jane.
Yes. And she was able
And
to educate you?
she was.
Yeah.
She was. And I don't think I would have gone to a GP about it because I needed somebody who knew me
Yeah.
to explain that, no, I'm not going crazy. No, it's not just my mental health. It was
Yeah.
other things going on, but I didn't have the words or the language to explain it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I feel like what you've touched on there is really, something that I think is quite fascinating because at Fresh, obviously, there's a network of nurses who
Mm.
get to travel with women through different life stages.
Correct.
And so, like, they might not even know what they're going through. They might not have the words for it, but they're describing like the hot flushes on the table or talking about how they've got like some kind of rage towards their loved ones, perhaps.
All of a sudden, they're not so loved. It's like, I really love you, but I hate you right now.
It's the Jekyll and the Hyde, right?
Yes, totally.
So that it feels like there is like a bit of a unique opportunity for us to really educate on all the kinds of symptoms. Like I didn't know that panic attacks, as you just described
The
it,
anxiety, yeah.
anxiety was like such a big part of perimenopause. I just learned something new.
Yeah.
So
And the nights, well, it also compounded because I was having night sweats.
yeah,
Once again, I was always off, high temperature more so than my husband, but kicking the sheets off in the middle of the winter, that's not normal. And being up all night and stressing and the anxiety. So it just compounded and you become a really grumpy, grumpy person. It's like when your children are really young and you're up 5 times a night
yeah.
and you just are ready to strangle somebody. Add some hot flushes to that, add some extra anxiety. It's just like, okay, let's sprinkle it all on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wowie. Okay, what
Yeah.
an experience. So then when you finally did get to the point where you were on the right treatment plan for you, how did things change?
Changed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was, no, it definitely changed quickly. And I was so happy. Felt like myself again. I will never go off of it. It was another funny story. Sorry, I
Yeah.
jumped in.
Please.
Okay. I used to roller skate a lot.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
Love that.
in and I was skating with one of my friends. We were just doing some street skating. And I was probably, I'd have been like 53, 52, 53, I guess. Anyway, we were skating, doing all these jumps, having fun. Just a simple little turnaround, stopped. I fell over and I broke my wrist. I went, this is a funny part. Okay, went and got my wrist set. All that was fine. And they gave me a script. I had to get my bone density tested because I was over 50.
Mm.
And I found out that my bone density wasn't where it needed to be. And that was a scary thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can't. I found out afterwards also that my HRT will help build that bone density, or at least stop the degradation of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Degradation, I guess, is that the word? Yeah. And that's super important to me. I don't want to fall down and break a hip.
No, we
But-
want to be strong, powerful women, like right through,
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think there's definitely something just about knowing that these changes are coming and there are things that we can do to potentially reduce the impact of that by just making sure that we've got good hormonal health.
Yeah. And it's so easy. It's like, why? I don't get people who don't go on it. It's not, what's the worst that can happen? You can become a grumpy person again. Like, yeah, weigh it out, please.
Yeah.
And I do have to share one thing that my
Please.
girlfriend, who is a women's health doctor, told me, and I love her saying. She said, you know what? You're leaving your reproductive years and you're about to start your productive years.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
Bring
wonderful?
it.
I'm too tired to hear it.
Oh, Sally.
It is. It's a great way of looking at it because you no longer you're leaving that nurturing role.
Mm-hmm.
You have time now. It's like, okay, I've raised the children. I've looked after everyone else. I've given them all my love, my energy. It's time for me now.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to make this time for me, I want me to be as healthy as possible.
Oh, yeah.
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 You got to make the most of it. We're living longer.
Yeah.
If you retire at 60, you got another 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you really don't want to be that bedridden person.
No.
Or one like,
those
I'm
guys.
an old lady. No, not me.
Wow. Amazing. Well, this has been so fantastic. I guess another question that I just would love to throw into the mix is in terms of when you were experiencing those symptoms going through perimenopause, menopause, I guess you had mentioned how you would have one of those stressful moments. Are there other ways that it impacted your career or your work?
Yeah, because I avoided stressful situations. I might have gone after a bigger account. I'm like, no, I can't. I didn't have the confidence. Like, because of those attacks and feeling stressed and not sleeping and not being my best self, my confidence was lacking. And I could have said, no, I want that client. I went, oh, no, you can have them. So I was passing over opportunities.
Yeah.
that
Wow.
I could, yeah. And you guys, I'm confident.
Yeah, you are.
And
Look at
I
this.
wasn't feeling that way.
It's incredible
yeah.
to imagine you not being this person that I
Mm.
know you to be.
Yeah.
It's wild. And yeah, look, thank you so much for
Right.
spending your time talking to us about menopause. Is there anything else you'd like to share before?
I would. It's not a dirty word. It's something we all need to talk about. Perimenopause, menopause, it happens to every single woman. It's not picking and choosing. It's just how you manage it. And we've got great tools to manage it. So why not?
Yeah, amazing. All right, thank you so much, Kris.
No worries.